Hi guys, Kathy here. Rebecca showed you yesterday a little bit about the Kong wobbler. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different alternatives in case you are struggling to get hold of one of those, or if you'd rather not buy something at this moment in time anyway. So a couple of things that you can buy that would do a similar job. This is called a Buster Cube. Probably of these two things, it's a little bit the harder one. The treats go in here, and just like the Kong wobbler, the dog has to roll it around to get the treats out. And the easiest of the options, if your dog's not done any of this sort of stuff before, is a treat ball. Again, you can put the treats in there, you can leave it that big, and when they get a little bit more experience, you can do that so that there are less treats coming out in each one go. And that just makes your dog work a little bit harder for the food. So, moving on to things that you might have hanging around the house that you could improvise with a little bit. Milk bottle. I always take the lids off of these sorts of things because they are potentially a choking hazard. If there's a lid is on there and the dog chews at it, then that is a little bit difficult potentially. So I always take the lids off. So that's one of the holes that the treats can come out of. And on this occasion I've also cut a little hole here for other ones to come out too. Now, because I've cut a hole out, this is electrical tape, you could use sellotape, you could use masking tape, anything at all. But I always tape round the hole to make sure that on my finger doesn't hurt, that there's no jagged edges, so there's no danger of my dog cutting their tongue. Obviously, another alternative, any sort of bottle will do. And you can make a really big hole to start with if your dog hasn't done this before. And you want to make it relatively easy for them. You want them to be able to find this quite fun and quite easy to start with. And as it gets older, as you can see, I've already taped around the outside for safety, but I've also done a little crisscross to make it a little bit of a smaller hole because my dogs are relatively experienced at doing this now. And a little bit easier in terms of, this one will last longer because it's made of a more solid sort of a plastic. This had some supplement in it. Again, I cut holes in it, there's a screw top so the treats go in, and that will last a little bit longer. These are probably, realistically, you'll get one, maybe two goes out of this before they're a bit squashed beyond repair. And with all of these things, make sure that you supervise your dog, just because if they do have a tendency to crunch at them, particularly the homemade ones, but any of them, Tango likes to pick this one up, so I like to keep a little bit of an eye on him just to make sure that he's going to be safe. Okay, so we're going to let the dogs have a little go. They've been waiting patiently. Now, Tango and Amber are used to taking turns. They're used to doing this together and they are comfortable with each other when there is food present. If your dogs aren't used to that or are in any way uncomfortable with each other around food times, then do this one dog at a time and just pop your second dog, if you have one, into another room while you're playing and then swap over. So, and I'm going to call the first dog off of the mat. Back on your bed. So. And I will be rewarding the dog that is not playing for staying quietly on the bed. Amber. So although Amber's experienced with this, she hasn't used this particular thing. She's not done this with a milk bottle before, so she's finding this actually a little bit more difficult than she would do with something that she's never seen, that she's seen regularly. Which means that this is actually quite a good mental stimulation for her, even though she's done lots of these sorts of games in the past.